Marco Bezzecchi's weekend at the 2026 Czech MotoGP has taken a shocking and unexpected turn. The current MotoGP championship leader has been suspended from Sunday's Czech Grand Prix at Brno after an incident involving track marshals during the sprint race. What was supposed to be an important weekend for Bezzecchi in his pursuit of the world title quickly became one of the most controversial moments of the season. The Italian rider was in a strong position to extend his championship advantage, but a late crash and the events that followed completely changed the situation. The incident happened during the final stages of the MotoGP sprint, with only 2 laps remaining. Bezzecchi crashed his Aprilia RS-GP at turn 3, sending the bike into the gravel trap. While marshals were attempting to recover the machine, a situation unfolded that immediately caught attention. According to reports, as the marshals lifted the Aprilia, one of them accidentally twisted the throttle, causing the engine to suddenly reverberate. The unexpected sound of the engine immediately alarmed Bezzecchi, who was nearby. Concerned that the high revs could potentially damage his motorcycle, especially while it was being moved in an unstable position, Bezzecchi quickly rushed toward the recovery area. However, what happened next became the key issue investigated by the FIM MotoGP Stewards. The Italian rider was accused of pushing and striking the circuit marshals, who were trying to recover his motorcycle. The incident was not shown during the live broadcast, meaning many fans only became aware of the situation after official reports were released. Based on the stewards' findings, Bezzecchi appeared to make physical contact with the marshals twice. The first incident happened shortly after he arrived at the motorcycle, while the second occurred after he closed the throttle and turned off the engine. The second action was considered particularly serious and played a major role in the final decision. After the incident, Bezzecchi walked away from the area, but the matter was not over. The FIM MotoGP Stewards launched an investigation and later announced a major penalty that would affect the championship leader's entire weekend. The official statement explained that the action was considered prejudicial to the interests of the sport, referring to Article 3.3.2.2 of the FIM Grand Prix World Championship Regulations. The drama surrounding Marco Bezzecchi's controversial weekend at the 2026 Czech MotoGP has taken another major turn. The FIM Appeal Stewards have rejected Aprilia Racing's attempt to overturn Bezzecchi's suspension, confirming that the Italian rider will remain banned from competing in Sunday's Grand Prix at Brno. The decision closes the door on Aprilia's final effort to keep their championship-leading rider on the grid. After reviewing the case, the appeal panel ruled that the original punishment handed down by the FIM MotoGP Stewards was justified and proportionate. For Bezzecchi and Aprilia, the ruling represents a major setback at a crucial moment in the MotoGP season. The Italian rider entered the Czech Grand Prix weekend, leading the championship standings and fighting to protect his position at the top. Instead, a controversial incident during the sprint race has now cost him a valuable opportunity to score points. The incident occurred after Bezzecchi crashed out of the sprint at the Brno circuit. With only 2 laps remaining, his Aprilia RS-GP ended up in the gravel trap at turn 3. While track marshals moved in to recover the motorcycle, an unexpected moment unfolded. During the recovery process, the bike's throttle appeared to be accidentally opened, causing the engine to suddenly reverberate. Bezzecchi, who was nearby, immediately rushed toward the motorcycle, apparently concerned that the high revs could cause mechanical damage. However, the situation quickly escalated. According to the FIM MotoGP Stewards' findings, Bezzecchi made physical contact with marshals who were attempting to safely remove the motorcycle. The original investigation concluded that the rider pushed and struck circuit personnel during the incident. Because of this, the FIM MotoGP Stewards considered the action a serious violation of sporting conduct and imposed a suspension that ruled him out of the Czech Grand Prix. Aprilia Racing responded quickly by submitting an appeal shortly after the penalty was announced. The team hoped that further review of the situation could change the outcome and allow Bezzecchi to compete on Sunday. The appeal was officially filed at 7:52 p.m. local time in Brno. The hearing followed shortly afterward, beginning at 8:05 p.m. and lasting until 8:37 p.m. Representing Aprilia during the hearing were Aprilia Racing CEO Massimo Rivola and team manager Paolo Bonora. The appeal panel also included members of the MotoGP Stewards structure, including Simon Crafar, Tamara Matko, and Andres Somolinos. After examining the evidence, the FIM Appeal Stewards decided that the original punishment should remain unchanged. In their official statement, the appeal stewards explained that they had carefully reviewed all available information, including video footage, official reports, and the circumstances surrounding the incident. The panel acknowledged that riders can experience intense emotions after a crash. In the high-pressure world of MotoGP, frustration and disappointment are natural reactions after losing a race or suffering a mechanical issue. However, the stewards emphasized that emotional reactions cannot justify aggressive physical behavior toward race officials. The appeal decision highlighted the importance of marshals and safety officials in motorcycle racing. These individuals often work in dangerous environments, standing close to racing machines and accident zones to protect riders and ensure events can continue safely. According to the FIM, marshals are a fundamental part of the sport. Their role requires courage, professionalism, and quick decision-making, often under extreme conditions. The appeal stewards stated that all riders and teams must maintain respect toward officials, volunteers, and workers involved in organizing a Grand Prix. They also stressed that any aggressive physical contact toward a circuit safety official represents a serious breach of the standards expected in professional motorsport. The panel considered it especially important that the marshals involved in the incident were actively recovering Bezzecchi's motorcycle after his crash. They were not competitors or opponents, but officials performing a necessary safety procedure. The stewards concluded that failing to punish such behavior would send the wrong message across the championship. Protecting the people who keep MotoGP running safely was considered a priority. After reviewing the case, the appeal stewards determined that the original suspension was within the acceptable range of penalties available under the regulations. The final statement confirmed the appeal was rejected and the original decision was upheld in full. The consequences for Bezzecchi are significant. The Aprilia rider will miss the Czech Grand Prix at a time when every championship point matters. Before the sprint incident, Bezzecchi was positioned to strengthen his advantage over teammate Jorge Martin. Instead, his retirement from the sprint allowed Martin to gain crucial points and close the gap in the championship fight. The